Hi cuties, welcome to my 1960s inspired Bridget Bardot Bouncy Curl Set tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to pin curl set and brush out this gorgeous backcombed 1960s inspired everyday look, well, every day in my world. So the aim is that we can curl set this in about 10 minutes, go away, do other bits, and then brush it out in about 10 minutes as well, maybe a little bit over. So the more practice you get, we hope this is a 20-minute morning hairstyle for you. So enjoy. I'm really excited to do this curl set with you today because it is my absolute go-to curl set for days at work when I haven't got too much time in the morning. So I really want to show you how you can achieve something quite big and bouncy, a bit of a curl set. And I love this because it's big hair. It makes me feel confident. The bigger the hair, the more confident I feel. So I want to share this tutorial with you guys to show that you don't need to have a ton of time every morning to create a cute vintage look. So we are going to be using curling tongs. These are on the highest heat setting and are about 1 inch curling tongs. We don't want them too thin because I want to be able to create some height with our pin curls, but I also don't want them too thick so that we can't create enough of a curl to work with. I'm going to be using lots of clips, so long, short ones, whatever you've got. You can even use your little bobby pins if you want to put your pin curls in place. Whatever you've got to hand, don't feel like you need a big kit of things to be able to create a cute vintage look. And then I'm going to be using some heat protection spray. This is a Tresemme one. Again, I'm using my at-home kit, so they're not necessarily like brands that we would use, professional brands in the salon, because I want to show you that everything on the high street is accessible to you in terms of creating a vintage look. You don't need to spend a ton on products. Yes, some products create some really beautiful finishes, but I'm talking about you on all of our normal household budget being able to create this look. So I'm also using a curl hold spray, which I'm going to put on before we curl to set the curls. This one is Mark Hill Style Addict, and that's the curl hold spray. And then I'm using Got to Be Glued to spray my hair afterwards to set it in place. I've also used some dry shampoo because as you guys know, I love to style my hair after a day or two of since I've washed it, because that gives it, once I put dry shampoo in, gives it a little bit more texture and volume rather than styling straight from washed. So tons of other brands that would totally achieve this look as well, but that's just what I'm using that I have at home with me today. So let's get started. I'm going to use my rat tail comb to first of all section off my hair. As you can see, my Bardot bangs are already styled, so you can click on the link to get the short tutorial on how I blow dry my Bardot bangs. Fringe if you're English, UK British like me. It's a really quick and simple process, but really important if you're going to get them cut like this to learn how to blow dry them forward, because you kind of get that really authentic look with it. So straight on to curl setting. We're gonna, again, I've said this before, our quick and easy vintage style series are all about quick and dirty curl sets. So what I mean by that is, you know, it's amazing to do beautiful, careful, well-sectioned curl sets, especially, you know, obviously if I'm working on a customer, I'm gonna take every care over sectioning, the size of the sections, putting as many curls in as possible. But what I'm doing right here is styles for you at home when you haven't got a lot of time. So we really are just gonna grab sections of the hair. There is a process and method and setting pattern to this, but it's going to be quite quick and easy. And this tutorial is going to be longer than it'll actually take you to do at home because I'm talking in between and all that sort of thing. So I'm aiming that you can get this hair done, maybe curl set it in 10 minutes, do your makeup, take the kids to school, have your breakfast, whatever you want to do, so that you can achieve this maybe in about 10 minutes curl setting, 10 minutes brushing out, and it'll fit into your morning. So I'm going to take my curl hold spray. I've already put my Tresemme heat protector all over my hair and brushed it through. And then my heat spray I'm going to put into each section individually. I like to do this because it does take a little bit longer, but it just makes sure that I can ensure that there's product all over and I get a really even curl set. This is a dry spray, so I do actually have to put quite a bit on. But I like the fact that it dries really quickly in your hair so that you can start curling. You don't have to wait for the product to dry and get that kind of sizzle if you do it too quickly, which isn't what you want. Okay, so we're putting our curling tongs clasp at the front, and I'm just going to, I've got different layers here, so when I get to layers, I'm just going to actually curl this last bit over myself. Again, because we're doing a 60s look, like not like a page boy sort of 40s, 50s look where you really want that really beautiful, perfect curl under. This is a little bit more forgiving, this look. So don't worry too much if it's not completely perfect in terms of your little ends getting nipped in. I'll show you why at the end. So I'm keeping the pin curl all together. Again, I've taken quite a large chunk of hair there, so you know it's fallen out a little bit. It's a little bit looser than you might normally do a 40s or 50s curl set, but that's absolutely fine because that's what we're doing here. So as you can see, I have placed the pin curl on itself, so I've pushed the hair slightly forward so that I can create some volume in the hair with my pin curl set. And then with my fingers, again, trying to keep this real quick and simple rather than taking the comb and sectioning each bit like we might do for other styles. Applying my curl spray quite generously. Again, I've got some different lengths here, so I'm going to take my curling tongs probably about 3/4 of the way around, and then I'm just curling the rest under with my fingers because that's how I keep the length in. If I go all the way to the end with my curling tongs, I'm going to end up losing some of the hair. It's going to drop out because it's all different lengths. So it's just a really quick little technique for curl setting bigger chunks of hair in layers. Pin curl clip in, and then I'm just going to do one more section at the side going downwards. Pretty much the same length, so I can drag my curling tongs all the way to the end this time. Lifting up a little bit, you can see I've got lift there. That's going to help to create volume later. And curl clip in, and the same on the other side. As you can see, I'm leaving my Bardot bangs bit forward here because I'm not going to curl that. And I'm not too concerned because this is a nice quick and easy one that I'm getting like perfect sectioning here. So they might be slightly different on each side, but it's not going to have any impact on that final look, which is what matters when we're trying to do something quick and easy that has some nice results. So in terms of how long I keep my curling tongs in, I tend to judge by if I can hold the outside with my fingers. I can feel the heat all the way through, it's getting slightly uncomfortable. So I think about 7 seconds, but don't hold them on too long. But equally, you need to make sure that the heat penetrates all the way through the hair so that you can get it curl setting really nicely. So I'm just gonna take the back section and exactly the same, apply the product. And curl. Again, I'm lifting the curlers upwards so that I get lift. Okay, we're going to work on the bottom sections now. This is really nice and simple. I'm going to take a chunk from the front and behind my ear. This time, the clasp is at the back, and I am just going to pull it forwards towards my face, just to get a nice direction in the curl set when I brush it out. Trying to keep that all together so the heat remains within the pin curl. Don't lose it because the heat's what will set it in a lovely. So now that we have curl set our hair, just to recap, we've got 3 going backwards with some height here, 2 at the side here with some height, and then we've got 3 on each side going in a forward direction towards your face. So I'm gonna let those cool, ideally as long as you can. So again, if you can do your curl setting, go do something else, give it 20 minutes or so, and then come back and style it, that's ideal. So let's leave it to cool for a bit. Okay, so that's all cool now. So we're good to take our pin curl clips out and start to brush out and style. So I'm just gonna pull these out real quick. And you can see nice and curly. So next I'm going to use my boar bristle brush. I like boar bristle because it's really good with the natural oils in your hair, so it really promotes a nice shiny brush out. So this is really simple brush out. We're just going to brush in a downwards motion. I'm gently brushing out, if anything, because we're going to do that 60s flip out at the end of the hair. This really is a simple brush out and a really quick one as well. So you can start to see the shape of that already. Now, if you wanted to, you could just leave it like this because it's a cute bouncy curl set, but I like my hair bigger. So we're gonna add a little bit of back combing in here as well. So I'm gonna take my rat tail comb brush with nice thin teeth, I guess. So, making sure that I'm keeping my fringe forward. And by the way, you can do this style even if you don't have a Bardot fringe. It would look super cute with Betty bangs. It would look super cute even if you've got full length hair at the front. You could simply put it in a side parting, sweep a little, clip it back here, and then have the rest of your hair going backwards just like I'm about to do. So let's start with this top section here. Again, I'm being quite rough and ready with the sections I'm taking. I'm not going to worry too much about it being perfect. Just make sure I leave my fringe bits down. Look at my lovely roots there. And I'm going to back comb. And I'm quite generous with my back combing. I'd rather put more in and brush it out than not put enough in. So you know your back combing is good if it stands on top of itself, just like this. Who hair Grinch style. I'm just going to pop a bit of hairspray at the back. That's just going to help to set that as we're working. Next section, again, generous amount of back combing. And I'm just going to take those 2 sections and then back comb them together. That helps to prevent a beehive kind of look that you see through and just really connects the hair into one bit I can mold. Again, just a little bit of spray. And I'm going to keep going. Voila, there you go. Beautiful, huh? So, as you can see, I'm kind of, Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't help with the blue hair look at the moment, so it's a total mess, but you can see that this is kind of the process in getting it nice and big. And again, it wasn't the most precise back combing, but it's gonna do the job for this quick and simple morning do. So now that I'm happy that I've got lots of volume in my hair, all I'm gonna do is take my boar bristle brush again and just brush downwards. And I am not being too gentle with this. It's, again, not the most precise of brush outs, so we can just really go for it. Just gonna pull a bit more back combing on this side. I think I was more generous on the other side, so I'm just gonna even it out. And of course, don't start brushing that straight away if you just sprayed it again. We want to wait for the spray to dry. It's quite a dry hairspray anyway, it'll only take a moment. So I'm just going to work on this side while I'm doing that and start to work on this bottom section. And I'm using the palm of my hand there to curl the hair around and over like that. And that's going to give us that cute 60s flip out kind of look. Okay, dry on that side now. Just doing exactly the same thing. So as I start to get closer to how I want my hair to look, I'm getting slightly more gentle with the pressure that I'm placing the ball bristle brush over, because I'm only using the ball bristle brush. Say that 3 times when you're drunk. I'm not drunk right now. Yeah, I just want that to smooth as opposed to brush through, which I was doing previously. So, taking my back section and doing the same as I did at the front, brushing the hair up and over and around my palm, just to connect that flip out all the way around. So I'm just going to take my rat tail comb now that I've got that general shape. You can see I've got lift here, goes in a bit around my neckline there, and then out again for the flip out. So what I'm going to do is just tease out a little bit more volume with my rat tail. So I'm just like kind of massaging it into the hair there. Nice and simple, just to get a little bit more volume pulled out. When I'm happy with that shape, it's looking relatively similar on both sides. Use your fingers just to push the volume out like that. Depends on how big you want your hair. Tend to start the day big, give it a little bit of room to drop if you like. So start bigger and then give it a chance to at least be quite big by the end of the day. So that's the basic shape of the hair that I wanted to create. And now we're going to just really spray. So my Bardot fringe was obviously already styled. Again, you can click on the link to see that separately. But what I'm doing before I put the hairspray on is just flicking it out slightly over. And that kind of gives, again, this nice volumized fringe look that kind of connects in. And then when you're using a really strong setting freeze spray, hairspray, it'll hopefully keep that in place as well. I don't want to do loads of hairspray around here because you want your fringe to have that kind of movement for this look, rather than it being really still, which you can kind of do with the rest of the hair. So I'm just doing a light spray in the middle of my parting there. Spraying those bits in there. Lots of hairspray. Don't be shy with hairspray with vintage hair. It is your friend. Okay, that is pretty much it. So this is my 1960s Bridget Bardot styled hair with my Bardot fringe also styled in there. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and you can really nail this style down so that you can get it done quick for going to work, out and about, and something that we can then work on throughout the week to use the back combing and the curl that's already in your hair. So do click through to my other tutorials because you'll see the kind of day 2, day 3 of what we can do with this style. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to do some more tutorials for you all soon. Take care, cuties. Thanks so much. Bye.